monitor again. Yay for live streaming. Hello and welcome to Anachronox Part 10. For those of you just joining us, we are now on an unknown planet after having gone through Sunder. Excuse me. Picked up our fourth party member, Ro Bowman, and had a rather interesting event which resulted in the activation of Mistech, which essentially provides us with magic powers. Now, the party in this game only supports 3 players in the world at a time. So, right now I've picked Krampus and Ro, leaving Pal 18 behind. We can always come back and get him later if we need to, but this should be good to start with. So let's go find out where the heck we are. Welcome to Votem. My name is Kieber. I am a cultural attaché and diplomatic liaison for the Hospitality Committee. Please accept my sincerest apologies on behalf of the Democratist High Council. These sentry robots should never have been on active duty. By the time we realized our mistake, the automatic tractor beam system was already locked onto your shuttle. Yes, well, I'll have to cut my grading rather short. The High Council just called an emergency session, putting the entire administrative staff, myself included, on full alert. Feel free to roam the city and I'll make yourselves at home while we resolve this emergency. I'll be in touch. So our current quest is, the High Council seems to be the top brass around here. Maybe if we talk to them in person, we can convince them to repair the shuttle so we can get the hell out of here. Your ship? Well, I'm afraid all the resources are diverted at the moment. Our crews will work on it as soon as they're free. Afraid I'm needed elsewhere. Please excuse me. Warship drone LM34456-B. Remote thermistor check. Anti-put-in capacitor check. Variable resistor check. Okay. Frantic. I give up. We've been at this for hours. Angelo. Maybe if we cut the feed wires? We've been through this already. It might disarm them, but we'd lose control entirely if they ever came back online. I'd rather not. Maybe the circuit interrupters are on the fritz. If they were on the fritz, there would be 200 amperes of electricity shooting through your body right now. I don't think so. Maybe if we open the panel? If we open the panel, you'll start tugging on random wires. No. More security drones, apparently. Yep, there we go. Now we've got shit. So. See how effective it is. Pretty effective. Can only use a tiny bit of energy. Which in this game is roughly the equivalent of mana, which not only powers your magic, well, Mistech, but also your shields. interrupt, but I just dug up some interesting info on this dump. Formerly known as Tevelin II, the planet of Democritus was made up of hardline isolationists before the sudden fall of Emperor Deucalion last year. They've only recently become interested in interplanetary relations. The whole planet is run by committee. They are extremely bureaucratic, with an elitist class living in a ring floating around the planet, and a working class has been relegated to the surface. Limited access visitors report amazing technology, but none of it is allowed to be exported. Either that helps or it doesn't. Have fun! So we got stuck up here with the snobs. Sergeant Guff. I'd stay out of the hangar base if I were you. Those malfunctioning rowboats will kill you without a care. Hell, I'd be a good neighbor and invite you inside, but nobody's allowed in the council chambers when there's an emergency meeting in session. Come on, bub, it'll only take a second. We need to ask him to fix our jalopy. Look, I'm sure your business is all very important, but the High Council's in the middle of a very important emergency session. I can't just knock on the door and sweep you in. They're very serious about not being disturbed. Only allies of the council are trusted inside. Fine, fine. How do I become an ally of the council? Sir, in order to see the council, you must gain their trust. In order to gain their trust, you must prove you think like them. Why don't you vote in today's election? If you're of like mind, they will consider you an ally of the council. Sounds easy enough. Where do I vote? I believe the closest voting station is outside the Votown Administration Center. Take this hallway all the way down. You'll end up at the city district of the ring. Just act for directions. You'll find it easy enough. So in other words, in order to see the people in power, you need to vote the exact same way as the people in power vote. That sounds like democracy. Votan Vista Viewer. Welcome to one of Section 8's pleasant vantage points. I don't need to take a picture for $1. Vote tonight. Vomit torture proposal. Us. We. The text, of course, underneath is too small. Oh, but I can click on it. Last month, Council News Nightly broadcast a 5-part series about the failure of cyclical vomit torture as a humane method of capital punishment. They claim that not only is vomit torture an unusually cruel form of punishment, but the death penalty itself is, quote, a failed system founded on incompetence and racial prejudice, unquote. Such a condemnation by the mainstream press moved the Democracy's High Council to add an initiative to today's ballot called Proposition 2, which would abolish cyclical vomit torture as a form of punishment for first-degree murder committed by planet dwellers. Their own stance on the initiative is unsurprisingly negative. Let the punishment fit the crime, quote unquote, says Councilman Al Harper at Section 8. Quote, I can't speak for the whole council, but I will volunteer personally vote no, unquote. Polls close tonight at 10 o'clock. So it looks like for Proposition 2, we need to vote no, if I'm reading that correctly. In which I will make a note of it, because the votes actually change on a per game basis. Mr. Artemis Heath, you don't look like you're from around here. Are you planet dwellers from the surface? Or from all over the system? Well, you registered to vote? Judging from the absence of a voting button on your sleeve, I'd say not. Here's the deal. You have to pay a loony if you want to stay and vote. A piece. Just a loony? Well, I guess we can afford that. Here are each of your voting buttons. Wear them proudly on your sleeve. Since you haven't any Democraton electronic voting devices, I shall give you a sample ballot on paper. Read it carefully. So, Proposition 1, shall the maximum ramp angle throughout Votan be 45 degrees? Proposition 2, shall cyclical vomit torture be abolished as a form of punishment for first-degree murder committed by planet dwellers? Proposition 3, shall the preparation and selling of dangerous squizzle beets for consumption be a misdemeanor? Proposition 4, shall Pos Cafe be the official color of the next year's festival of choice? That probably completely butchered the pronunciation of that color, but assuming it's a color. Proposition 5. Shall outworlder possession of narcotics be punishable by death likely sentence? Immediate complete use of all substances in possession. Proposition 6. Shall it be a felony to possess, sell, or export Pedri meat for harboring consumption? Proposition 7. Shall planet dweller deforestation of Waggies forest for dort herding be allowed? Proposition 8. Shall marriages between wing dwellers and planet dwellers be recognized by the state? I hope you're aware that if you don't vote in today's election, we're allowed to kill you. If you're looking for someone to discuss the issues of the day with you, an ally of the council might be of existence. They wear 6 pearls of wisdom on their skull. Now you're ready to participate in the election. Once you've decided on the issues, go to the voting booth just down the street. Happy voting! Come on. These ballot initiatives are quite challenging. I can't decide how to vote today. I believe the pearls of wisdom that he was referring to are the blue orbs on their head. Like, for example, this guy has 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. This guy does not appear to have any. Simon, remember all the things we said we'd do in college? Not really. Julius. Don't you remember? We used to talk about getting off this rock for good. We're going to strike out for the outer systems and restart our lives somewhere else. Yeah, the dreams of youth can be silly. I want a new life. Someplace different. Away from all this dreariness. What? You can't just leave. Your obligation is to democratize. Every vote counts. I guess I'm trapped here forever. Get married, raise a kid, vote every day, and shut up. Just going to restart the conversation. Sergeant Durad. The vote tabulator reports you didn't participate in yesterday's election. Is there any truth to this, son? I was sick. You don't look sick to me. I'm feeling much better. Will you give me your word that you're going to vote in today's election? I don't want to have to come find you again, understand? No, sir. I mean, yes, sir. The ballot looks very interesting today. How's your mother doing? She said the check is late. You apparently have 6, if I'm guessing. Chrissy, I think human males such as yourself are incredibly attractive, but they don't seem very interested in democratic women. I guess we're not lumpy enough for you. Being an outworlder, how do you feel about Proposition 8, which would forbid marriages between wing dwellers and human planet dwellers? Being an ally of the council, I know how the vote will sway. I'm just curious what you think. I'll tell you which way they voted if the man with the gorgeous beard would be willing to give me a kiss. Okay, gorgeous beard being this guy, I guess. If you're willing to give me a kiss, I'll tell you how the High Council voted on Proposition 8. Choices are, I'll plant one square on your lips, girly. Lean on in. The other one is, I'll pass, but I know a detective who will kiss anything. I'll have Grumpos do it, just because I think that has more comedic effect. Stop, I'm going to blush. Okay, I'm ready. Smooch. Oh, my. Feeling a little faint. It's a good thing the High Council voted no on Proposition 8. I'd hoped I'd bag one of you sooner or later. Oh well. So now we know Proposition 8 is no. Thanks for the thrill. Ah, and it's recorded this information on our card already. So I guess I haven't needed really to wipe them down. Is the council vote no on Proposition 8? Okay, so she's just recording her progress. I know it recorded this earlier. Now it recorded in there, I think. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Vote no on Proposition 2. Auto ordering, but at least it's recorded. Would you like a quick lesson in the politics of O-Town? Why not? I've got all day, or kill me. Sure, I feel like destroying my voting cards today. We're in Section 8, the administrative region of O-Town. This is the democratic heart of our society, the center of all red tape on Democritus. Here, everyone has a voice. Everyone is heard. The only problem is, people are dumb. We all know it. We all think it. So if the voting public is too dumb to make the best decisions, there needs to be a system to make sure they don't vote themselves into oblivion. That's where the High Council comes in. Each member of the council represents one of the 8 sections of the vote. They are considered the wisest men on the planet and are the first to cast their ballots in a daily election. Since we're the ultimate democracy, even a High Councilman's vote is the same as any citizen's. It counts as only one vote and is kept secret until after the election. On occasion, when the public votes differently from the council, the visible repercussions are often quite negative. That's why people tend to vote the way they think the council will vote. The High Council serves as the moral compass of our society. To make sure their opinions are an open secret, the council intentionally leaks its vote to the public through various channels. This way they maintain the illusion of free democracy while guiding the citizens at the same time. So in the end, people too dumb to make their own decision can feel like they're doing the right thing by voting like the council, as well as feel special for being part of a big secret. In fact, if you really want to know the way the council votes on an issue, look for allies of the council. They're always more than happy to spill the beans for council decisions. Allies of the council have 6 pearls of wisdom attached to their skulls as a symbol of their exaltedness. Look for them. And so here endeth the lesson. Happy voting. Methinks they have an interesting view on, quote, democracy. Glue. How did you vote in yesterday's election? Spear. Resolve for changing the name of the Balatron 3000. What a stupid name. How did you vote in yesterday's election? Okay, that's the same. Did I talk to you already? Cross. Well, it's nice to see outliers in Votown. Democritus tends to keep it to itself. Personally, I wish we had more contact with the worlds. There are reports that a planet of scientists blew up somehow. That's gotta be a joke. How is that possible? It wasn't our fault, really. Just checking the back alleys for stuff. Because they always hide things back here. Bane device. Give it to Kronos. We'll figure out what that does in combat, I guess. Where does the actual inventory save it? Probably find a vendor to sell some of this older junk we've got hanging around. Oh, there's something for Pal. We'll have to remember to make a cycle of the town. We've got Pal with us. Sergeant Rama, I'm a VOCOP. An officer of the law doesn't need to be buried in body armor to be an effective crime fighter. All I need is my stun wand and my reflexes. And same dialogue. Vercingetorix. There you are. Mr. Keeper wants you to know that the council is still in session and will remain so for quite a while longer. We apologize for any inconvenience, but I'm sure you understand our position. Domestic matters must take precedence in this case. Gipley. We have a wonderful film community on Democritus. Ever since Outworld, their movie equipment became available 2 years ago, we've been shooting our own films and learning the medium. Both Shuttle Landing in Hangar Bay 94 and Vocop Shooting Stunwanda Camera were this year's standouts. Sounds like early silent films. Harder. His shirt isn't very well ironed. Look at his pants. And his shoes are scuffed. He must not know what he's talking about. PD. I've got a funny feeling I'm being watched. Gleek. Magnificent speaker, isn't he? In addition to teaching public speaking at the university, he's also the chairman of the Pedri Salvation, a non-profit organization dedicated to the plight of the little workers. He told me he was made aware of the High Council's vote on Proposition 6 this morning. And although I couldn't get him to spill the beans, I felt like I was wearing him down. I'm sure someone can get him to spill the beans on the High Council's Proposition 6 vote. Crap. I've only got one thing to say to anyone thinking of voting against Proposition 6, and it's this. Democratans do not eat Pedri meat, period. Pedri are too productive to waste as food. Most ring dwellers are unaware that nearly 3,000 Pedri were slaughtered on the surface of Democritus for the purpose of an outdoor activity called globbering. Pedri bound for slaughter are often crowded into cargo pens made for smaller animals and travel many cycles without sustenance. It's painful and cruel, we must put a stop to it. Pedri Salvation is not a collection of knee-jerk activists looking for a cause. We're responsible members of the community. I myself am an ally of the Council who believes in death with dignity for every Pedri, and we are open to discourse. I wonder if we can blabber. I hate to interrupt, but my 2 cents are worth as much as yours, and maybe even a penny more. Do you see me standing on a soapbox spouting my why and wherefores? I just want a moment to tell you a little story from my yesteryears. I ain't spinning no tale, or weaving no yarn here. It's pure truth. Long years ago, there was a time when I owned a Pedri. I'd left the military for a soul-searching quest to find myself. I spent an Indian summer building a cabin in the Corsican backwoods. It was complete with chicken coop and a domestic bippy for companionship. It sang while I worked. I remember that fall fondly. In my youthful optimism, I named him Alejandro, after the Hispanist singer. And even though he was dumb as a plumb bob, I had to love him. The poor thing was a castrato. You see, the Pedri breeders cut off their tiny whizzer-babubs before they reached pubertas, so that they retain their soprano voices. How could I not feel for him? Well, 2 weeks into winter and everything turned south on a dime. A Hannigan fox broke into the chicken coop and enjoyed a 5-course fit. That same week, a water pipe sprang a leak over my winter rations. I was getting hungry, and Alejandro was getting nervous. He stopped singing altogether in order to be less conspicuous, but it didn't help. I hadn't eaten in 2 days, and there was a Gorian opera acting up in my stomach. My options were quickly disappearing, and it was with a heavy heart that I approached his cage. Alejandro looked up at me with those huge, weepy eyes. Then he saw the gutting knife in my hand. I still remember the look on his face. Pedri meat ain't tender, my friend. I was a strong arm in my youth, and Alejandro made for an uphill cut job. His limbs were especially fibrous. You get your knife caught in a blood hose and you're looking at some soaked meat. It took me half an hour just to cut around his vein cavity and such. Point is, you're talking to the wrong man if you're looking for sympathy when it comes to eating the farm. Making laws ain't gonna stop a starving man from killing a walking ball of meat, son. Frankly, if they're slaughtered the same way cattle are, I don't see the problem, so go stuff it up your goose pipe. Shock. Cold-hearted people yourself are the reason that the High Council will vote yes on Proposition 6. We've heard your voice, we know your opinion, please excuse yourself. Yes on Proposition 6. Making pretty good progress. Lime. There are farms in the agricultural section of the ring that grow hundreds of varieties of vegetables. One of these vegetables, the squizzle beet, is quite poisonous. If a chef doesn't prepare it just right, it can be fatal, but it's the poison that gives the beet its distinctive flavor. If Proposition 3 passes, it will outlaw the preparation of squizzle beets, which sucks because I can't get enough of them. As well as personally being an ally of the High Council, my sister is an assistant for one of them. Last night she told me how they voted on Proposition 3. My. Did you see his eyes light up? I bet you're just dying to know how they voted. And take advantage of this situation. Yes, quick thinking, my friend. I just noticed I'm rather thirsty. I'll tell you how the council voted on Proposition 3 if you bring me a tasty quack quack juice from Jeju Juices. Okay. Vercingetorix. We apologize for any inconvenience, but I'm sure you understand our visit. Oh, that's the same guy we talked to earlier. Sergeant Mott. I sense a demonstration forming down there. I should call for backup. Can't have every voice heard. Know what I mean? Wedge. There's a few of us who think the High Council is ineffective as a form of government. Teary. If the High Council decides the initiatives and everyone votes how the Council would vote, is that really a democracy? Dutch. I think Hal Harpert's the only member of the Council who represents how the everyday person really thinks. Psst, this is my first date. How does it look like it's going? Boy, I hope she doesn't think I'm dumb. I want her to like me. I'm afraid to hold her hand. My palm's all sweaty. I really like her. I hope she doesn't think it's weird that I keep talking to you. Hey, go talk to her. Distract her for a second. I need to formulate a new strategy. Yee, what a creep. Does he think I can't hear him talking to you? I'm sitting right here. Go tell him I think he's a loser. Don't bother. I heard. And have the time minder while we're here. Nope. Waited too long. There we go. Murrah, so many votes and ballots and petitions and straw polls and referendums. It's too overwhelming. Jairus, is someone going to order? Greg Clay, quit complaining. You're married. Why do you need time with yourself? Okay, welcome to Juju Juices. It's our mission to provide the voters of Democritus with the highest standards of excellence in purchasing and fresh delivery of our drinks. What refreshing juju juice drink would you like to down your sluice today? And we want quack quack juice. $4. Thank you, sir. Here you go. Biff, they're gonna vote me off the committee. If I wasn't good enough, and they were gonna throw me out in my hide. I'll have to live in Section 3 with the rest of the burnouts. How am I gonna tell my parents? Inquiries. We don't talk about the Emperor. He was an evil man. We're glad he's gone. Okay. Here. This must be a store. What may I get you, fine voter? Buy or sell? First of all, go to sell. Gems can be sold. Pre-owned shield cell we really don't need. Power source used by Democritan rowboats. Is it actually useful? Pincher, anti-wiki amulet. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything I particularly want at the moment. At least not without some better cash. Alright, so we were looking at guessing that's something I can just trash. Actually going to get me a juice. You've made my day. The inside scoop is the High Council vote no on Proposition 3. Slowly making progress. tabulator for voting. Sergeant Reagan, I've been watching you. Are you going to talk to everyone in the city? Outvote their creeps. And yes, we are going to talk to everyone in the city. What are you going to do about it? I wonder if he's been watching us pick locks in the city. Useful. Piston octagon. New weapon. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Go. Hold Decalion shield cell. Which now means, I believe, that we can... Well, let's see. How good is that? 32, but you can give a full 32 to the shield. Since he's not actually using the extra energy right now. I'll give it to Boots, since he doesn't have any mistake. Everyone has a voice, my foot. My friend doesn't. Oh, that's why I was clicking on him and he got a sad look. He can't actually talk. Why are we I made friends with an outworlder many years ago when our society was not so isolationist. It wasn't long before this friend offered me Naki. I was young, I didn't know any better. Before I knew it, I was hooked. It took me years to recover from that addiction. I'll never trust an outworlder again. Although I'm an ally of the High Council, I believe they're wrong in voting no on Proposition 5. Outworlders who spread their poison into our society will deserve to die. Trouble me no more. Alright. 7, 4, and 1 left. What do you think about yesterday's shield proposal? Personally, I don't see the need for a permanent security shield around our homeworld. It's not like our planet's in any danger of getting attacked by outworlders. Right, you like us, don't you? Who would ever want to make war on us? We're a peaceful people. Hey, what if I decided not to vote today? They'll find you and they'll club you, over and over again. There are reports that a planet of scientists bluffs. Ready? Dora, there are still some of us who believe the surface of the planet is where we belong. Living up in this ring so long, we've lost touch with ourselves as a people. We mustn't forget where we came from. We mustn't pretend it never existed. Something else for Pal to poke at. Darrow, I hear the High Council's called an emergency session this morning. I bet they're just coming up with tomorrow's initiatives. Weed, I heard from a friend who works the hangar bays that the Sentry rowboats are on full alert. I swear, how can they have practice drills so often? Lost and Found Biobot. Greetings, I am your interface of the Votown Lost and Found. I'm a standard issue BUDDI-12 Bebobot. I have no add-on infrared interfaces, advanced heuristics, or remote communication skills of any kind. It is okay, I do not mind, I am perfectly happy being on the very bottom rung of the very tall ladder of models of Bebobot. It suits me fine that each and every other Bebobot is leaps and bounds better than me. Nothing I like better than the bottom of the food chain existence here, looking for useless items that my oh-so-smart masters have left behind. Stuff a pocket calculator could keep track of. But I digress. How may I help you, sir? I want to help you find lost items. Oh yes, please, thank you so much for your kind assistance. 2 bits of advice. Do not bother the council. Bebobots have scoured that area. And Butler bots are constantly cleaning the Republic in, so the item must have been left around Votown somewhere. Hurry, because someone might find it and take it. Okay, get ready. Find a keg of Winton Done beer. Go. Okay. Do you have any hints? No, we just have to go find a keg. Well, we'll keep an eye out. Weefus, since you're a planet dweller, you might not be bright enough to realize that you're not on the surface anymore. That band you saw across the sky and thought was a god and threw rocks at? Well, that's where you are right now. Geosynchronous orbit around the planet. Can you say geosynchronous? Those 4 gentlemen over there are the most renowned engineers in Votown. They designed the ring we're standing on right now. Slightly condescending. Buddy 12. Greetings, I'm a Buddy 12 Bubbly Barbara personal assistant. I serve all my owner's emotional and filing needs. My owner is currently unavailable. Brunto, we should have had a blueprint from the very beginning. You can't improvise architecture. Will you stop being so moody, Brunto? Be glad you're not stuck working on the surface of the planet. We're allies of the Council. Let's act like it and focus. My buddy-12 received a memo from the High Council detailing their decision on Proposition 1. Maximum ramp angle initiative? Who cares about that? Why don't we build a shell around the planet instead? Pretend it never even existed. We could become a new Democritus. Will you stop complaining? Let's focus on the High Council memo concerning Proposition 1 that my buddy 12 just received. But not until these undesirables leave the area. Screw the maximum ramp angle initiative. They're just going to make us do something stupid. Well, can I blabber him to get it? No, he is not yammerable. Probably then need PAL for that, which makes some kind of sense. So we already talked to these two. Keep an eye out for. I don't think we talked to this guy. Have we? Fresia, do you have a ship? You got to get me out of here. Corticom sent me here to negotiate a distribution deal with the Democritan Trade Commission. Hold on, before you run off to slit your wrists, let me tell you what I know. They have amazing technology. You cannot believe the stuff they can do. They could be flying around here in stylized mechanoids in a beautiful zero-G city if they wanted to, but the whole planet is paralyzed by indecision and red tape. They can't get a damn thing done to save their lives. Everyone's an administrator. I haven't met one scientist or artist in 6 months. Look around you. Unimaginative middle management types are everywhere. I want to blow my brains out. And no one's in charge around here. They don't even have a commander-in-chief for their military. No one wants to be accountable, so they vote on everything, and if something bad happens, it's not any individual's fault. It's everyone's fault. I have 6 months before they self-destruct. That's why I gotta get out of this place. Please, take me with you. Oh, that must be it. This is what we were looking for. Oh ho, the keg of beer. Thank you so much for finding this. Here's your payment. $5. It's not worth the $5. Yeah, I talked about it. So now we're gonna head back and grab PAL, which should give us at least one more information on the voting. And a couple of other jacks that we had passed on. Senior Inter-Ring Architect from Miss Redford, Vice Secretary of Democratus High Council. I've just been made aware that the High Council's decision via Proposition 1 will affect the quarter's architecture budget. The Council unanimously decided to vote yes on the measure, meaning all ramps in the inner ring that exceed 45 degrees must be redesigned and rebuilt. Please adjust your expenditure estimates accordingly. We love your work. Sincerely, Miss Redford. That was fantastic. I can't believe how much science you know. My circuits are tingling. We should interface again sometime. That was not the thing I was hacking, but hey, extra stuff is good. Fire retardant round. Okay. That'll be useful in some encounters, I'm sure. If I had the cash, I'd probably be getting 3 of every resistance item. Just so that if we get into certain fights, we can make some cool what we need. Let's see, where was the other chat? It was kind of hidden, if I remember correctly. around much in is the Republic Inn. How are we doing on this anyway? 4 and 7. Bryce. So many choices, it's too overwhelming. Only through meditation will I find the answers. Hey, he's one of those 6 gem guys. Ward. I'm writing articles for Council News Nightly about 2 of today's initiatives, the Wye Dort Herding Initiative and the Post Cafe Initiative. I can't finish either one. I can't find Chief Representative for Surface Horticultural Agriculture, Das Dagan, anywhere, and I need his feedback. He will know better than anyone how the council would vote on the door herding issue. I camped outside his room most of the afternoon. His parents are always staying in room 401 in every hotel he goes to. He won this term of office by a mere 401 votes or something. So, 7, we need to know 401, okay? Meanwhile, I can't find Merrill Yoyd, the assistant to one of the high councilmen. He promised me to an interview about Councilman Halpert's position in Proposition 4, the Post Cafe Initiative. I know he's staying at this hotel, but I haven't a clue what room. To top it off, I don't think any of these colors is Post Cafe. At least I know what dress jacket is staying in room 401. If I can find him, I can at least finish the article on Proposition 7. So the last 2 initiative informations are going to be in this hotel. Lots of important people stay at our hotel. Take Merrill Yoyd, for instance. He's an assistant to High Councilman Halpert, the leading proponent against Proposition 4. As you know, Halpert's an influential member of the council, as well as the main representing our section of the ring. I believe the Tute brothers are staying on the 3rd floor, but I can't tell you which room. We've had to eject 3 groupies in a side ward in the last 2 hours. Critically acclaimed film cinematographer Diane Dale is having a tantrum in one of our leisure suites. Someone who paid me $200 not to reveal his name is staying here. All in all, I think we have an extremely popular establishment. Please leave, unless you're staying. How much for giving up Merrill Yoyd's suite number? You think I'm that easy? That kind of info would cost you a lot of money. 100 loonies, and I'll throw in a freebie. And we can find it on our own. You'll be back. Keenan, I am not apologizing first. Okay. Apologizing first for what? Gabe, why won't they be reasonable? Flag won't even talk. Diebler, maybe I voted wrong. Maybe my one vote will be the one that upsets the balance of power in our democracy and brings it tumbling down around us. Glenn, how do you sleep at night? Oh, there's a jack for I did that wrong. You can't actually go horizontal in this minigame. Going straight up wouldn't have worked. L18. It appears Das Daxon is staying in room 401. It appears Merrill Yoyd is staying in room 201. Alright. That's what we need to know. Blaine, I hate you to hear it. I hate for you to hear it like this, Ted, but the fellows also go vote and we decided you should die. What are you saying? You guys have voted to kill me? Oh no, we don't think you should be killed, not at all. We just think you should die. I can't believe it. When? Soon. Very soon. Can I call my wife? You can do whatever you want, Ted. What's taking the elevator so long? Maybe a lot of people coming down. If I remember correctly, there is a Bippy here. You just have to wait for him to appear. Ah! He ran away. I'll get him when he comes back. Come on, little guy. There you are. 203. We go in the elevator. I don't know, man. I think something's wrong. Dude, it'll come any time now. 201, 204. Yoid from High Councilman Cooper. After 3 furious days of endless debate, the infernal idiots refused to make Pause Cafe the official color of next year's festival. How will I ever face the Pause Cafe consortium after the crushing defeat? My heart sinks, Yoid. Think of the children. Prepare an apologetic letter immediately. I'd rather they hear it from me first. P.S. There are something. Now we only have one more proposition to figure out, and Boots gained a level. Hey, delivery's complete. Sergeant Mike. We could pull on his legs. Sergeant Pat. That might sever his head. Robert Champert. Ow. Explains why the elevator isn't working. Becky Hen. My career is going down the toilet. I spy with standard issue, hard bevel pillows. And now Outworlders walk into my room and harass me while I rest. Please take all my belongings too. I'd hate for there to be an upside to this day. Don't worry, I won't look. It's a deal like all Outworlders do. Go on. Well, if you insist. Weapon bonus for beat attacks. Sure. pretty much my main whacking guy. Floor 4. Boots, some dumb book. Can you read it? Not my type of science. Man, who cares about that? Wonder if Ro would actually be interested. Found Heal Grease Plus. I'll have to grab her and come back. Stalk her up. Get gone, you jerk. Sergeant Clean. There are reports of a red Wapiti loose in the building. If I don't find it tonight, they're going to vote me off the security staff. I found it. I'm not telling you where it is. Race complete. And a taco. Crime map. No legend, no directions, and these streets don't even make sense. It's giving me a headache. Maybe the doctor can figure it out. What kind of worthless map is this? There aren't even any landmarks. Quite a poser. The doctor might recognize it someday. So, in other words, go get Ro. Now we're in 401, right? So, I guess we have to go get her to they'll analyze that. But first, we'll see what's up the stairs. Aside from a couple of the Wapiti. Floor 5. Moosh. She keeps wiggling out of her ropes. Tie him tighter. She's already eaten all the food we left her. Already? Then let her starve. She's a motor mouth. Talks my bleeding ear off. Then gag her. I don't think I necessarily want to know what they're talking about. Cycling the street. Why they had to make these corridors so dang long. I mean, if they're obstructing geometry, you don't really have to make a long corridor for that. You just need a, couple of janks. Come here, bro. Swing over the pal. more backtracking. Got a couple minutes left. Let's go take row up and take a look at those items. There was one on 4-3 and the other on 4-4, if I remember correctly. Nope, not that row. Hey, it's a Democritus method of science. That's where I learned the principles to construct a plasma wall. I was 10. Since we're traveling the galaxy, I should keep my eye out for interesting reading like this. I could learn a lot. So apparently that's kind of a hint to keep an eye out for stuff she can use. So her battle skills then apparently come from books like that. Bowman's Analyze. Analyze simulates the thought-counting process of a row's brain. She figures out a diagram of the machine. You must select the converters below in the correct order to convert the initial shape and convert the end shape and color. Some converters insist on a specific shape and color to convert from, so watch out. Key to effectively analyzing a problem is not to think too hard. Maybe a view from a higher vantage point might prove more illuminating. Let's try outside. Rose suggests taking Daxon's note to a high vantage point. Okay. But I believe we are approaching our 1 hour time. What are you doing here? Kal-El. Stress eats at me like fever forehead rot. Time Minder and cycle the stream at that point. That's the Time Minder.
Alright, so that'll be the end of this part. And we will be back shortly with the next part of the Anachronox Let's Play. Hope you've enjoyed.